Okay, we're going to do a basic demonstration of what a breeching round is intended to do. I've got just a 3/4 inch piece of plywood that we're going to blast through to show you, their destructive power. Now, one thing that I want to make sure you guys realize is that you do have to have specialized breeching barrels set up for true breeching operations. This particular gun just has a standard 18.5 inch barrel. A breeching barrel will have a brake with slots in it to allow those gas pressures to release and to have a tacky surface for you to actually stick the barrel in and kind of turn your head and blow it away. And these are designed for blowing locks off of doors, blowing, door hinges, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to keep the barrel held back a little bit so that we don't get any excessive pressure. And I've got the GoPro going. Let's just see what happens. Fire in the hole! Go ahead. Ready? Yeah. Fire in the hole! This shelf that Barry's bringing over here is actually it's a 16 gauge. 17 gauge metal shelf. So it's definitely not a weakling of a shelf. And we're going to hit it with a breeching round and see what kind of damage.
A bleaching round?
A bleaching round, yeah. We're going to hit it with a breeching round and see what kind of damage it does. And let's see if this would be something we could overcome with a breacher. All right, breeching rounds, take 2. Oh yeah.
Well, the breeching round is made out of powdered compressed iron powder. When it went through the 17 gauge shelf, it dispersed. So it did punch a clean hole through the shelf, but this is what happens here. Breeching rounds are not made to pierce metal. They're made to blow hinges without damaging individuals on the other side, perhaps. But this is all powdered iron. When it went through that shelf, which is about that far, you got this pattern of powdered iron. They would probably make a hellacious anti-personnel round. It's definitely not going to over-penetrate a human being.
Let's try a couple against some other objects.
All right, let's do it.
Sometimes you have casualties in the name of science. So we're going to go down the line here and pop a few sodas.
Oh, man! You saw the kinetic energy of these at close range. Like Eric was saying, a handgun or a shotgun slug, it doesn't do this kind of damage. These things are awesome.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, one of those breeching rounds, I don't know what the implications would be of actually shooting a person with it or whatever.
Right.
But I tell you what, that round right there at close range, that powdered metal round like that, if you were to shoot a human analog with that, we might have to do that in a future video, try some pork medium or pork analog.
Right.
I really just think that the kinetic energy of that would just be so tremendous, it would be very deadly.
Well, it's not going to have a lot of penetration. We've already proven that. But as far as knocking somebody down, you don't have to worry about it. If you got a breeching round, it's going to put them down.
Oh yeah.
They're going to be, they may have a wound only 4 or 5 inches deep, but it's going to be like a foot in diameter.
Well, now I know how the ground all over the farm feels with soda all over. I'm gonna have to go change my clothes. But I'll tell you what, let's blow up some other stuff.
Let's fire some steel.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot 3 of them at one of those gongs in a minute, and we're gonna fire 3 heavy waxer shells and compare to see the impact.
Yeah, because we know those waxers hit really hard.
We know they hit really hard.
Yeah, good point.
Let's try that. Let's try 3 and 3. You wanna do that?
Yeah, sure.
Let's roll.
What Barry's going to do here is he's going to take 3 shots with the breeching rounds from a relatively short distance, about 15-20 yards, and we're going to see if we can hit the plates with them. What we want to do is we want to compare the kinetic energy of the breeching round to something like a wax slug or maybe even a standard slug to see, what kind of energy they have at longer distances. Of course, this is something that the slug is not designed to do. And also we want to see if we get any fragmentation. So we have some 2 liters set up near it to see if the fragmentations break up the 2 liters. So here you go, there's 3. And I'll get out of your way. All right.
Range is clear.
Safe. Good shot.
Let's hit that little one over there.
All right. All right, we see that we do have one 2 liter that's spewing a little bit. It caught a little flack from the breacher. Let's see what happens to the waxers, Barry.
Little plate.
Good shot, Barry.
Doesn't seem to quite have the same impact. Not quite, but it's still hitting the hell out of it.
I would say in terms of kinetic energy, those rounds are very similar.
But I would say the breacher has more energy. And from here to there, they're actually more accurate. I don't think you'd have any problem hitting a man in the torso at 50 yards with a breacher.
Yeah. We're going to take the breeching rounds and we're going to fire them at our metal door originally that we shot earlier in the video, and we're going to try them through the 3/4 inch plywood from a longer distance to see if the penetration and accuracy is about the same as point blank. So first the door, the metal door. How about one more through the metal shelf? All right, now one through the wooden door. Well, they punch nice clean holes. Let's see what the damage looks like.
This round here that Eric fired a while ago with a breaching angle, this barely made it through this 17 gauge shelf. Now this is heavy, but these made it through fairly well on a 90-degree shot. And of course you have your breaching round here. But when you have a pump that doesn't have a vent rib on it, he was probably aiming here, but the barrel is up because you have to raise it in order to see your bead. So this is okay. Human beings are mostly taller than they are wide, so this right here would do fine. All right, Eric fired some breachers on that metal plate. We're going to shoot just Remington standard slug loads and see if the holes are different.
Whenever you're ready, Barry.
Of course, these are Remington slug loads. These are not frangibles. These rounds barely made it through here. This has a nice round hole. You can see on the back, the punch out is nowhere near as far. This is sticking out about an inch, this ½ inch here. Those sluggers are cutting clean holes. Of course, that's what they're designed to do.
Yeah, but then again though, what we proved in this video is that a breeching load is nothing to mess with.
No. You would probably, a human being shot with this in the chest would probably be in more danger than this, because this is going to be a solid hole. This right here is going to be a mess in there. I mean, it's going to turn an area this big into jelly. You saw the way it splattered on that board back there. This is a totally inhumane round from hell right here. But the sluggers are always going to be slugs when you can get them, like we talked about cut shells, we talked about waxers, we talked about all these improvised stuff. If you can get a slug, always use a slug. This is improvised stuff. Cut shells, waxers, all that improvised. People keep saying, well, I can go to Walmart and buy a 20-round box of blah, blah, blah for $7, but that's not a substitute for this. This is a rifle slug. This is made for that purpose. So always remember that. And we're going to be doing a cut shell classroom number 2 here pretty soon. And we want y'all all to go back to the original cut shell video and listen to every word I say. I don't tell you to use cut shells. Never have. I'm just showing you what my dad showed me.
Well, I don't have it on now.
Good shot.
I got it.
Got it right in the center. So that right there tells you already that a cut shell is nothing to be messed with. In terms of what these things cost,
I'll be screwing around with no damn cut shell, buddy.
wow.
That hit right in the arm where that damn sabot is.
Oh yeah. You're kidding me.
Yep.